That GameStop situation happened for Amazon, and they cashed out and they saved their asses. The other thing, real quick, Jarod Leto. We were talking about this before the show. Jarod Leto was quoted as saying that what Marvel movies?
Yeah, he was saying that Marvel movies are the reason why movie theaters still exist. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of disagreeing with that. And I have.
I mean, you've always hated Jarod Leto ever since he sideswiped you on the freeway. Like this vendetta between you and Jerod is going back like 5 years.
I'm like, you know what? Don't play the Joker again either.
You're a joke.
Who laughs like this?
Hey, I like that. Like when he was having that conversation with Common in the club. I don't know why I love that line. I don't want no beef. Oh, you don't want no beef? You don't want no beef? I don't know why I like that line. I don't know why. I liked it. But
I mean, I think he was better in Zack Snyder's Justice League. The
tattoos weren't. The long hair, the tattoos were gone. Yeah. I think his Joker was good, but the way they draped him with the extra stuff just to make him different from Heath Ledger.
Like, oh yes, was damaged.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary to me.
No,
but he recently he was in the news in an interview saying that he thinks that the Marvel movies is what I mean, technically, is he wrong though? I mean, because look what happened with Spider-Man post-pandemic.
No, but also it's not just Marvel, because he only said Marvel, but you also got DC. Batman is doing so good at the box office right now, and my theory is like they're not. I feel like there's so many other properties that make so much money. We're talking Star Wars, DC, Harry Potter,
but during and post-pandemic, though.
Well, it's yet to be seen if the new Fantastic Beast is going to be good. But
we don't know.
We don't know.
I'm thinking his comments was really based on what Spider-Man was because that was the first movie to really do pre-pandemic numbers after the pandemic.
Didn't it make over $1 billion?
It's 100 and something million away from $2 billion. It almost made $2 billion.
Oh.
So I checked this yesterday, and I was like, I knew it crossed 1.5, but I didn't know it was that close to 2. When it finally finishes theatrical run, which it still technically is in its middle.
The hype was insane for it, though.
And that might have been what his quote was based on, what Spider-Man. And then on top of that, he's in Morbius. It's in the Spider-Verse. He's probably championing the movie he's promoting right now.
He's like, well, I'm in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I'm in the Marvel universe right now. I gotta pump it up. Marvel is single-handedly making you buy more popcorn right now. That's probably what he was doing.
Well, for good reason. Spider-Man No Way Home was one of the best movie experiences I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I'm
damn
so
right.
Glad, I'm so glad I watched it on opening night. Yeah. It was just amazing, which I commend Jarod Leto for saying that, because essentially Spider-Man No Way Home, it wasn't the movie that brought back people, but it brought back people to experience movies the way they should be again, because it wasn't the first one. Like Tenet was one of the first ones that brought people back with Christopher Nolan's film. Mm-hmm. And there was a few others that I can't remember right now. Now,
speaking about what you were talking about earlier, like there was other movies that did the same thing too. But Warner Brothers could have been more a part of that conversation if they didn't do that day and date crap that they're never going to do again. Yeah,
that
putting
kind of
most of their
it.
That killed the. They should not have. I understood what they were going for, because for all they knew, the pandemic could have gotten worse, and if that would have been the situation, they would have been right.
Yes.
But it wasn't the situation. It got things kind of the restrictions lifted mostly, and they were still stuck to their plan.
I feel like they shouldn't have done streaming on day one. I feel like 45 days or 30 days, something like that, strictly in the theater, and then afterwards it can be on streaming.
Yeah. Yes,
that's how studios could make more of their money. That's why Scarlett Johansson sued Disney. That's why.
Her movie was in production before the pandemic, and she was still wanting Disney to honor their original agreement, which meant to me they should have just delayed the release of Black Widow instead of doing what they did to her, because she had once you learned all the facts, she had every right to sue. It's like, yeah, okay, you didn't know, Disney, you didn't know a pandemic was coming. Yeah, but that still doesn't change the fact that we agreed to a theater release.
Yeah.
So,
and with a lot of the movies that went to streaming on day one with WB, it was Dune, The Matrix Resurrection.
They didn't make as much money as they could have made.
Yeah, and The Matrix bombed at the box office.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, I commend them for sticking to their convictions. They were like, we promised that every movie that was going to come out that year was going to go to day and date. They could have still broke that promise if they wanted to.
Yeah,
they didn't have to commit to it.
It's like the director of Dune. He's like, if you watch Dune on a phone, it's not the experience that you want. He made some kind of analogy. I can't remember. It's like watching a toy boat in a bathtub. That's what he said. Yeah. Instead of watching a real life boat.
I get that analogy, and there are a lot of people, especially kids today, that will watch a whole movie on their phone nowadays. But most normal people will, stream it and cast it on their TVs to watch a movie.
Yeah,
I get it. If you're on a plane, if you're waiting for a plane, if you're out and about, yeah, you're gonna watch it on your phone. But a movie like Dune, unless you're a monster, I'm not gonna watch that on my damn phone. I'm gonna go home, put it on my screen, at least. The biggest screen I can get it on.
I have a projector and I have a 120-inch screen for my projector at home.
Bastard.
Well, I mean, when I was at home during 2020, I'm like, you know what? There's this cheap little Amazon projector I can get for like $250.
Yeah.
I did. And I tried to recreate the movie experience for me at home. I have a 5.1 surround sound system.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the best I can get if I don't go to the...
You know what you could have did? Like, I saw this during the last Halloween. There was while my kids were trick-or-treating, there was a neighbor who had a projector and cast the whole movie like on the side of their house in front of their, like on the garage door. A whole movie, like a Halloween movie. They played that while they were handing out candy outside.
Oh, wow.
You could have been a hero. And you could have cast the movie on the side of the whole neighborhood on the side of that garage, on the side of the house, or whatever. That's almost like a screen. That's almost like a drive-in movie kind of a situation.
It would have been better if I'm like, oh, you want to watch the movie? $2. $2.
Why would I have to pay you $2 if I could just stand across the street and watch? But you would have been a hero. I wonder how many. I'm sure there was people who did that. Is there anybody out there that knows anybody who did that? I'm sure there's somebody who did that. They got a projector.
I hope so. Well, the big thing was drive-in theaters got huge.
Yeah, drive-in theaters came back.
Yeah, and in big numbers too.
Yeah.
And well, maybe not me, but I still haven't gone to a drive.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Our supporters help make all this content possible, so make sure you check out our Patreon page so you can help us bring you the content you want.
Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal. Yo. Turned up on another level. Push the pedal to the freaking metal. I'm turned up just like heavy metal.